On today's video, I'm going to give you 3 typography tips that are going to make you a better designer, because if you master your type, you're going to be an amazing designer pretty soon. Stay tuned. Hey everybody, what is up? My name is Ran Segal and welcome back to Flux, where we cover web design, freelance, and everything you need to know so that you can build an amazing website, bring value to your clients, and make a living out of it. Now, let's dive into some mistakes people make and how to fix them using very simple type principles. Check out this example. Take a look at this design and let me know what you think is not working here. Do you know it already? Well, the thing is, this design, while it might be beautiful, it might convey a premium look, has too many typefaces in it, too many fonts on one design. There is this sans serif here in the title, and then there is this other font, and then there is this hand lettering font, and on top of it we have the logo, which is a different font. There's just too many things going on. Now this has 2 problems. One of them is readability. Every time we change a font, it takes our brain a little bit more moment to adjust to how we're gonna read this font. So if you have a whole paragraph that's using 3 different typefaces, it's gonna be so confusing. The other thing is, we're not really sure what's the story that the designer is trying to tell us here with these font faces. Is this supposed to be premium? Is this supposed to be bold? This is just pretty confusing. So a good general outline or principles when you're using type in web design, but in every design in general, is that you probably want to keep your fonts on the website to 1 or 2, right? In this case, and the way that usually we make this choice is usually we create something that for a heading. So we have a type for a heading that is kind of like more the brand font. In this case, this is this kind of premium looking font here. And then we have a font for the rest of the website, which is a little bit more readable. In this case, it's this light sans serif font here that we're gonna use for the navigation and the actual rest of the text. Now, yes, the font is a different font, but the logo is a different font, but this is not repeating throughout the website, so I don't really consider it as part of the text itself. So this looks much better because it's way cleaner, easier to read, and very systematic in the way that we're using the fonts through the website. Now, second example that I want to show you. Check out this design and let me know what you think is not working here. All right, so the problem with this design is that the text here, both the title and the subtext ahead of it, is just too crammed together. There's not enough line height here. The text almost touches each other from the top and the bottom, and this just it has 2 problems. One of them is readability. When there's not enough space between the type, it's just harder to read. So one thing is, it's harder to read, and it also creates a stressful feeling. Now, sometimes you want to create that, right? With big, bold, all caps text, you want to create that tightness and stressed feeling. But when you're not, especially on this website where, it's a mental health website, you want to have a little bit more spacious design. So check this out. This is by adding a few more, space to the line height. It looks so much better. It looks so much balanced. It's much easier to read, and it's it just looks so much better. Now, a guideline would be, and this is usually the default within design software, is 125%. However, that really depends on what the font is, and it really depends. Sometimes when you have like very big titles, you want to tighten it up a little bit more than when you have smaller text needs more line height to be readable. So make sure you keep that in mind. I wouldn't stick necessarily to the numbers, just look at it, look that there is enough space between them. Now, design softwares nowadays might be calling it line height, or in CSS it's called line height. Previously it was known as leading, so some softwares will show it as leading. The reason for calling it leading, by the way, is back when we had kind of like letter setting machines, and you would put the wooden letters, they would have just like a line made from lead, the material lead, and they would put it between the letters to space them out. So that's why it's called leading. Just a quick design history lesson. Now, before we move on to the third tip, did you already make kind of like this button, like how would YouTube know that you're learning stuff here? All right, let's dive into the third tip. All right, so the third one, check out this design and let me know what you think is the problem here. Now, the problem here is that the designer here wanted to emphasize the word never. So he actually made 3 choices. The first one is let's make it bold. The second one is let's change the color to give it more emphasis. And the third one is let's give it an underline. So the first thing is it's a little bit of an overkill. If you want to emphasize something, you can make 1 change, but 2 or 3 changes just to make it emphasize, it's a little bit too much. Now, the more serious problem here versus just, going a little bit too much is that this is actually confusing, because on the internet, when we see a different color on a text and an underline, that's usually tells us that this is a link. So you want to be aware of how people operate on the internet and make sure that you're not misleading. In this case, we just remove the color and the underline. It still very feels emphasized. You can still just by making it bold, you can see that it sends the same message. The function of the design decision still passes, but it's not confusing people. So don't overdo things, right? You don't need all of these different effects to solve the problem that you were trying to solve, which is how to emphasize the word never in this case. All right, I hope these tips were useful for you. We also have, by the way, a whole playlist on intro to web design. You might want to check that out, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.